Lisa, Arturo is in the house with this adorable little puppy.
Cutest puppy ever.
She's a dog expert. She's a matchmaker and basically you're a warrior. You help save all kinds of animals' lives. How are you? Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about this little one.
Yeah, so little Tank was being sold at a gas station at 8 days old, and a Good Samaritan knew that just wasn't right, so she bought the dog. Actually, don't know for how much, and didn't know what to do with him, so she took him to the shelter, and then the shelter called my rescue, Big Love Animal Rescue, and said, he needs to get out of here. So I took him. I've been bottle feeding him, and at this age, they're just so, he's 3 weeks now, but at 8 days old, they have to be fed every 2.5 hours. So you have to stimulate them. They need to be on a heating pad, and it's just a very fragile time without their moms. Like a lot of puppies at this age don't make it because it's difficult to bottle feed them. You have to make sure they don't aspirate, and that you keep them a certain temperature. So we've been doing okay. Little Tank loves his bottle, and I named him Tank because he is obsessed with his baba, right? You can't get enough?
I'm obsessed with you. You have such a big heart. I mean, you really, this is like a child. You haven't slept in days.
Weeks.
Weeks.
And this is just, he's a little puppy, but also in general, I rescue all dogs, adult dogs, all different breeds, and there's so many animals out there, especially right now in the rain. It's just making me crazy thinking about all the homeless and abandoned, neglected animals out there that are on the streets looking for food and shelter. And, my goal as the founder of my rescue is to really spread compassion and educate, because I can only rescue so many, but I'd like to teach the world about how you could too step in and do something.
So what can somebody do, and then also what can somebody do if they want a dog and they don't want to support the breeders or whatever, right? Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't want to go into the shelter because they think it's a scary place, but the animals there need a second chance. And just by saying, I can't go into the shelter because it's too upsetting, really is not putting the animal first. You have to put your feelings aside. I would say, I know it's difficult, put your big girl panties on, go in there, adopt a dog, adopt a senior, give a dog a second chance. If you can adopt, maybe foster for a rescue group. I'm always looking for fosters. Open up your heart and home for a couple of weeks, because then in the meanwhile, I could network the dog looking for a proper home. If you can't do that, donate, because they cost so much money. A vet bill for him, a parvo test, medications, whatever he needs. It's $300, $400, $500 just to walk in and out to save an animal's life. Get involved. Go help out at adoption events. Volunteer at the shelter. Everybody thinks it's so wonderful what I do, and they're like, "Oh, that's so good for you. I'm so happy that you're doing that."
So, Lisa, what happened? Like, there must have been. Were you always just this walking angel, or was there something for most of us? We had to go through something hard to go, I have this purpose and calling.
Yes, this is my calling in life. So I've been in rescue for about 13 years, and I had rescued a dog from Japan. Actually, a friend of mine said her father can't keep this dog anymore, and they're going to send it to the shelter, and we flew it here, and he became the love of my life. It was just me and him in Los Angeles against the world, and when he passed away, I was so heartbroken. I wasn't married, I didn't have any children, and I had this voice inside of me that said he would want you to do what you did for him to others, for other animals in need. And I just got in my car and I went to the shelter, and I was like, I'm here, what can I do, how can I help? And I became an advocate, and I decided I need to network these animals in the shelter to help get them homes. And it was so rewarding to see a dog just give up on life and give them a second chance. Like, they know when they get rescued, 24 hours later, 2 days later, they're happy, they're in your lap, they're like so thankful and so grateful. They just really know. And there's no better feeling than that. There's nothing in the world than giving an animal a second chance and the gratitude that you feel for that. So it's really about putting your own feelings and yourself aside and stepping up for something that's greater good, something bigger than yourself.
And there really is no other love than like the love of an animal. It's so unconditional.
Yes. Yeah,
So
they're just.
cute.
Are you ready to adopt one?
So tell everyone
Almost
where
done.
they can find you, how they can help, or what they can do.
Big Love Animal Rescue. I just started my own foundation. I currently was working with Hope for Paws Animal Rescue, but bigloveanimalrescue.org, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll be posting animals there that are up for adoption. You could always donate and really support me in any way I can so I can help the animals. The more help I get from others, the more good work I can go out there and do.
Just love your heart.
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much for
Thank you.
everything.
Okay, bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, Tay. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.